Welcome and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Roush, your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips and strategies and techniques to master your sales conversations and make buying easier for your prospects. Okay, today we're going to be talking about why it's so important that you focus on and sell the true value of your offer. And this means selling the benefits and not the features of what the offer entails. So I have a background in technology, you may or may not know, and spent most of my sales career selling hardware in the tech space. And so everything had to have spec sheets, right? So on the spec sheets, they used a formula that was called FAB. It breaks down to FAB stands for features, that's the F. The A is advantages, and the B is benefits. And maybe you've heard this before. And if you haven't, stay tuned because this will really help you as you're crafting your offers to make them more compelling and enticing and make it an easy yes. So if you've ever worked with me, you know that I am all about how can you make your offers such an easy, like excited, like, heck yeah, I'm going to buy this. So this comes down to why it's so important that you really drill down and focus on the benefits. And this can happen whether you're having a live conversation with a prospective client, whether this is on your website on the sales page, or whether this is in an email promotion that you're sending out to your email list. So let's break down what the feature, the advantage, and the benefit is. So a feature is what the product or service includes. This is the characteristics or the components. Think of this as kind of the nuts and bolts of the offer. So an example of a feature is if you have a coaching program, one of the features of the coaching program would maybe be weekly one-on-one sessions, for instance. Now, when we take and look at the advantage of the coaching program, well, first of all, let's explain what the advantage is. The advantage is highlighting why that feature is better or different. And the advantages give context to why the feature stands out. So for instance, if we're using the coaching program and the feature is the one-on-one weekly coaching sessions, then you would describe this as weekly one-on-one sessions, excuse me, is what they offer, is that they offer personalized attention and focus for the client's unique needs. That's the advantage. Personalized attention that focuses on the client's unique needs, right? The feature, weekly sessions. The advantage that you get personalized attention that's focused specifically on your needs. So now let's talk about the benefit. So the benefit is the ultimate value of the client experience because it's the feature and the advantage. And what does this mean? So it answers the question, what's in it for me, right? I always say, like, most of us walk around and we think the whole world revolves around us, right? Like everything that's happening is either happening to me, for me, or against me on the bad days. So when you want to make your offer compelling and interesting and an easy yes, the prospect is thinking the whole time, what's in it for me? So we've got to answer that question. Now, I teach this as the so what. Years ago, the first actual business coach that I hired, like, I think I was, I don't know, 2 or 3 months into my business, and I hired this great business coach. And getting started, and he had suggested that I put together this training, I think we ended up initially, it was like a 12-week sales training course, right? And I was teaching this live. And so, I did my homework. We had our session. I went and I crafted this whole, program. And then when I was laying it out to him in our next session, he was like, okay, I was basically focusing on the features. And he was like, okay, yeah, but so what? And I was a little offended at the time because I was like, what do you mean, so what? And he's like, so what are people going to actually walk away with? And I was like, oh, okay. So I think about this a lot when I'm putting out offers. I think, so what does this mean? What's the so what here? So whether you like the question of the so what, or whether you like the answering the question, what's in it for me, it has to be for the prospect, for the buyer, right? You've got to be able to answer either the so what or the what's in it for me. So the benefits are really the motivators that lead people to take action. So if we're talking about, again, back to this example of a weekly or a coaching program, and we're talking about these weekly one-on-one sessions that give you personalized coaching, what is the so what here? The so what is that it helps build confidence to make sure that you're making progress and achieve your goals faster. So again, what are you going to focus on when you're talking about the offer? You're going to focus on the benefits. Not that you wouldn't, I'm not saying that you don't ever mention the features. Yes, you mention them, but you've got to get to the advantage and then the benefit from it. And if you're missing this step, this might be why you're not getting the buyers that you want. So I was recently doing a coaching session with somebody, and she was expressing some dissatisfaction and how hard it was to get people interested in her offer. And when she broke down the offer for me, it was all features. Like she'd never mentioned really advantages and definitely didn't mention any benefits. And so that was kind of what we'd worked on, is how can you take what you've got, like you've got the features, there's nothing wrong with them, and we have to expand on that and really focus on the benefits. And then it makes buying, again, that decision easier for the buyer. And so if you're feeling frustrated with any of your offers that you've put out, take a step back, go look and go, okay, am I following this format of this feature, advantage, benefit? And am I really highlighting the benefits? And again, I have to do this for myself too. As a matter of fact, there are times where I can get kind of in the weeds of the feeds and the speeds of what the offer is. And I will miss this piece because I understand, like in my brain, I know what the benefit is, but that has to be articulated to the reader or to the person I'm in conversation with to make the offer something they're going to want to buy. So I will just say one little like beware of here, and I actually have a podcast about this, is one of the things that can sometimes overwhelm buyers is not only do you focus too heavily on the features, but you give too many features. You throw everything and the kitchen sink in the offer. So if you haven't listened to the episode, it's 229 and it's called, what is it called? It's called When to Use the Less is More Approach in Sales. I would recommend taking a listen to that episode because you don't want to overwhelm people. As a matter of fact, I was working on crafting an offer recently and having some back and forth with a like consulting partner about this, and the partner was recommending, like, I don't know, like 4 extra things in the offer. And at first I was like, oh, okay, well, like, wow, what a huge deal this would be. But then I started thinking, like, one of the pieces of pushback that I sometimes get is when I put too many things in there, people will say, well, I'm not going to use that, or I already have that from you, Nikki, or I've already gone through XYZ. So I don't really need that piece. So then they just don't buy the offer. Right. And so sometimes by stripping away some of the features, it makes the offer more compelling because it's like, boom, here's what it is. It's either an easy yes, or it's like, no, thanks. I don't need that right now, or that's not the right fit for my business. Whatever. Just makes it an easier decision, I think, sometimes. So I ended up pulling out the 4 extra things. I put one little extra thing in there, but you had to take action on it pretty quick in order to get it. And it just works. It works better for me in my business. So if that's helpful for you. Now, I want to give you a couple more examples to get you thinking about the features, the advantages, and benefits, and see if these resonate or how you can use these and apply these to your own business. So here's an example where if I'm talking about my on-demand video library, for instance, that comes with step-by-step tutorials, what's the advantage of that? That's the feature. So the advantage might be that you gain immediate answers and support anytime you need guidance, right? That's a pretty good advantage. And then the benefit, because you got to take it to the so what. So what does that really mean to me? Like brass tacks here. is that it empowers you to make faster progress without waiting for assistance. That might be the benefit. So do you see feature, advantage, benefit? Here's another example. Just to break this down again, I'm going to give you 3 examples. Here's one if you were offering a weekly one-on-one. Actually, did we do this one? Weekly one-on-one. I'm going to do it again, even if it's kind of a version of what I did earlier, but a weekly one-on-one coaching session, you get personalized guidance tailored. So the advantage is that you get personalized guidance tailored to your unique business challenges and goals. The benefit is that it allows you to build confidence and make faster progress towards your business goals because you have dedicated support, knowing you have a trusted advisor helping you overcome obstacles each week. Like, what am I going to focus on in the conversation? I'm going to focus on the benefit if I'm talking to a prospective client, because I can mention the feature, but I really have to emphasize the benefit. The advantage is important too, but I will say that sometimes, depending on how much time you have, you've got to really make sure that the benefit is front and center in that conversation, or definitely in your offers that you're putting out, right? Whether it's on your sales pages or your email campaigns, whatever you're doing. Okay, so here's one. Let's say that we are offering employee training sessions, right? Depending on what you do in your business, maybe this would impact you. So the feature is that you get an interactive live training session led by an expert facilitator. I have tons of clients that offer these types of trainings, right? So what would be an advantage of an interactive live training led by an expert facilitator? An advantage would be it allows the employees to ask questions in real time and receive immediate feedback, which is going to enhance the understanding and engagement. Now, you might think you can stop there, but don't. Take it one step further to the benefit. The benefit is that employees gain maybe practical skills they can apply right away. It increases their confidence and it improves their job performance, which leads to a more skilled and productive team overall. Now, is that more compelling? Now, again, you get to decide. These are just examples for you to be thinking about. How are you laying out your offers and are you making them compelling? Now, I mentioned earlier the client that I was working with who was feeling frustrated because people weren't really like getting her offer. And we talked about, she was focusing too heavily on features. And one piece of pushback is she was like, I don't know how to articulate the benefit. So here's a little, in case you like this is what I suggested that she do, is go look at your testimonials. Look at what people say about their experience or their reviews of when they work with you. Because a lot of times they'll write the benefit. And so it actually gives you some words that you can use. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with this concept of feature, advantage, benefit, go look at your testimonials and see what you can pull out there. And how can you apply the benefit that somebody wrote about working with you to the feature that you're offering in the offer, and focus on the benefits. Because again, it makes the buying decision easier. It directly addresses the client pain points and their goals. And that's where you're going to make your offers easy yeses. All right. So when people understand how the benefits solve their specific challenges, the value becomes clear. It's a much easier yes for you. Now, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I encourage you to really break this down for yourself, features, advantages, benefits, and see if this starts to make a difference when you're talking about your offers, when you are putting offers out, and go check out your sales pages and see. I need to, do this myself, like continue to remind myself to do this. It doesn't always come natural, at least for me. If it does for you, congratulations. Awesome. I hope that's the case. But if it doesn't, it's just one more tool to put in your toolkit to make selling easier for you and for your buyer. Thank you for listening. I'm wishing you continued success in all that you're doing. Have a great rest of your day.